Hi, everyone. I hope you enjoyed Lenny's opening session. And here today for our first demo, we have 10K humans. Before I hand it on over to our speaker, I just want to remind you about that chat and that Q&A box. Let us know where you're tuning in from. And of course, if you have any questions, you can drop them in that Q&A box. But now I will hand it on over to our speaker.
Thank you, Bridget, and hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us on this beautiful Friday afternoon. My name is Desiree Cox, and I am a Senior Project Director here at 10,000 Humans, and today we are going to be diving into the topic of sample quality and fraud prevention. So, to fully understand the conversation around sample quality and fraud prevention, we first have to ask ourselves, how is fraud continuing to evolve? So technology is paving the way for better security measures, but it's also creating more ground for scammers and professional participants. And this is inclusive of, the use of bots. Those of you who follow us on social media may be familiar with, in the past 2 years, we released a series of videos where we actually interviewed a person who was running a bot farm for the purposes of collecting quantitative incentives. And through the use of AI, this has become much more prevalent. We're seeing AI pop up all over the place in different parts of the industry, and it's been a bit of a double-edged sword of helping us, but also becoming a new barrier that we're working to combat. And recently, the professional participant training programs have been a huge topic of conversation for those of you that also may have been following us more recently. We stumbled across this program this past spring called the Paid for Your Stay program. And for those of you who are unfamiliar, this was an online training program where the founders of this company actually created online training and learning modules to teach people how to role play and become like the perfect participant. So that way they could cheat their way into qualifying for screeners and get through the research simply to collect the incentive. So we're seeing a lot of these things pop up all over the place, and the topic of fraud certainly is not limited to these three things. So from our inception, our belief has always been that in order to circumvent fraud and ensure the best quality of sample and participant quality, this has to start at the beginning. It starts at the beginning with the ways in which we choose to find and select our participants. And our solution has been what we like to call our active recruitment methodology. And in summary, this is finding participants where they exist naturally in ways that validate the behaviors we're seeking. And this can take form in a multitude of different ways. This can consist of taking to relevant groups, forums, and subreddits that are related to the topic or category of the target audience that we're seeking. Partnering with influencers to promote research studies on our behalf. It's not uncommon if, for example, we're looking for people who are into fitness. If we go and find a fitness influencer, they naturally will have people interested in that subject following them. Partnering with relevant charities and organizations that may have reach into some more niche areas of recruitment that we seek. And last, certainly not least, this will be the main topic of conversation for today's presentation, the 10K Voices gig economy. So today's presentation will be introducing you to the 10K Voices application. This is the very first market research gig platform. Very similar to other platforms such as DoorDash, Uber, TaskRabbit. The 10K Voices application is a place for individuals who are interested in flexible work, remote work, short-term assignments. This is a place for them to come, apply, and help us find the best quality participants. So, kicking us off, ensuring a quality gig worker on the front end is pivotal to ensuring quality sample to make it into your research. So with that, the 10K members have a bit of a journey that starts upon registration. They've got a couple of steps that they have to go through, and once they're registered, vetted, and confirmed, then they are on track to help us recruit. We'll be diving into all of these steps today. The first step of verification for any of the 10K voices to register with us is verifying their mobile number. So every member of the 10K voices community verifies their mobile phone number. The verification confirms ownership of that number and is an important part of the identity verification and fraud prevention. This is cross-referenced between any screeners or any gigs that they may apply to double check for consistency. The second step in our verification process is email verification. So similar to mobile, each member has to verify their email address as well to ensure ownership. And we use the same cross-reference process between as we do with mobile verification. And this email that they have registered with their profile is the only one that they're allowed to use to cash out their incentives once they've completed assignments. Next in the verification journey of our members, we've got ID verification. We have partnered with Stripe, which is one of the leading global verification companies for government issued IDs. So they'll submit to us a copy of their driver's license, a state ID, a passport, and also have facial recognition. And the combination of checking these government issued IDs combined with their biometric data ensures the authenticity of the gig workers that we're hiring. And this, again, is one of the steps that we take on the front end to ensure the best of the best for recruitment. And last, but certainly not least, we also have a video articulation vetting step. So the last step in this process, we do request that anyone who wants to sign up for the community to submit us a 30 to 60 second video, just talking a little bit about themselves. And this video can be used for a multitude of purposes. We can use this to gauge the quality of the participant who is applying to help us out. We can use this to see and make sure that they're fully understanding the tasks that are asked of them. And this doesn't necessarily have to be a one and done. So we collect this initial video for screening and verification purposes, but as we continue to get more recruitment requests, more projects that are filtering into the platform, we can prompt all of the members with additional videos if we have a special request or if there are some kind of characteristics or qualities that we're looking to double check. This is all something that is housed within the 10K Voices app. So, housing all of this information and all of our members in the platform gives us complete flexibility and control. So once our members are in, they're verified, they're joined, they begin working on assignments, we track their work history, and we also have a rating system in place. So if you're coming to the application and you're looking for participants maybe who have done a project similar to the one that you're requesting, maybe we're looking for interceptors in Buffalo, New York, you have the ability to go and look at their work history and see like, oh, okay, they have done projects very similar to this one. They've got great ratings. This is definitely someone that I want to help me out with my study. And the other side of that coin is you have complete autonomy to choose who you want to work with and who you would like to not have participating with you. There is a feature to remove and block anyone from the project if you wish to do so. So what makes the gig economy so powerful is its versatility. We have thousands of gig workers interested in a variety of different short assignments. And the different types of gigs that we house, the first one being the interceptor gig. This is your classic man on the street style interview. If you've got a convention, a conference, any kind of event, and maybe you're interested in speaking to the people that are attending this event, you have the ability to hire interceptors in that area, send them to the event, and outline the parameters of what you'd like them to do, who you'd like them to approach, what hours you'd like them to work. And we also have networker gigs. So a networker is someone who is based within a community, who goes and generates referrals based on the target criteria that we're looking for. So maybe you're looking for people who live in a very rural area of Oklahoma. And we come over to the 10K Voices platform and we see that we've got a couple of networkers who live in Oklahoma, and we task them with going out into their community and referring fellow members of that community to your research study. We also do a variety of different translator gigs, which we'll talk about a little bit more on the next slide. And we've got many more to come as we continue to build out the app. So the versatility of the gig economy does not stop at the US borders. Right now, as of today, these are all of the regions of the world where we have 10K Voices community members that we've worked with, that have been vetted and verified. So going back to the translation offerings that we have, these are all areas with languages that we can support. And so what makes this app great is how all of the pieces come together to continue to bring the human touch back to the recruitment process. The free-found recruits that we find via the gig economy stay true to our active recruitment model. And it's very appealing because gig workers have flexible earning opportunities. So you may be wondering, how can the 10K Voices application help you? Through customizable solutions with the human element at your fingertips, the 10K Voices platform delivers flexibility with your budget and spend. It gives us a unique way to find those harder to reach audiences, bringing you authentic perspectives to your research. It's quick and efficient, and there's an innate quality control built in to this active recruitment model. When we are approaching people in real time on the streets, we know that they're not a bot, they're not a scammer, they are who we believe them to be because we found them where they are existing naturally. So the 10K Voices is the first ever market research gig app, and it's designed to elevate your research integrity by finding quality participants in our newest stage of active recruitment. And with that, thank you everyone for joining, and we are now open to questions.
Wonderful. Thank you so much. We do have some questions, and we have a pretty fun one to kick things off here. Could you share the story behind the name, and does it denote your current total pool or recruits?
Yeah, so our company name, 10,000 Humans, has an origin in Hindu mythology. I don't want to butcher that, but all of our offerings we're keeping under the 10K ecosystem. At this time, we do actually have more than 10,000 community members, but all of our products and offerings stick to the 10K branding.
Awesome, thank you. Just as a reminder to the audience before we dive into any more questions, I just want to remind you, if you have any questions, you can drop them in that Q&A box. But to continue on with some more questions, will the 10K Voices app have a self-serve function?
Yes. So right now we're still in the beta phases of the application. We're continuing to test this internally and perfect it, and it should be launching, I believe, sometime in the next year.
Awesome, thank you. And is the app functional in languages other than English?
Yes.
Awesome. So are the gig workers taking part in research or recruiting respondents?
The gig workers are helping us recruit the respondents. So we leverage them. Let's say you're wanting to hire interceptors to talk to Buffalo Bills fans at a game, before and after a game. Those interceptors that you're hiring from the 10K gig app would be on the ground distributing your survey or your screener application.
Awesome. Thanks for going over that. Are users of the app incentivized differently?
So one of the ways that you complete autonomy is being able to select like the hourly rates or the way, like the amount of the referral bonuses that you'll want to pay your networkers. And we'll always provide guidelines. And that, of course, is dependent upon a multitude of factors, right? Location, the type of audience that we're looking for. But there's a lot of flexibility in what you're wanting to pay your gig workers, how long you would like their shifts to be. And we are going to build in like a gamification. So that way we're encouraging all of our gig workers to sign up for as many missions or assignments or tasks as possible. So something along the lines of like a bonus structure for people who are really active in the gig work.
Very cool. Thank you. Do you think that the app helps recruit for projects faster?
Yes, 100%.
Awesome. And then let's say that I want to recruit drywall contractors. They're not necessarily found in a group setting for your gig workers. Or yes, so let's say that I want to recruit drywall contractors. They're not necessarily found in a group setting for your gig workers to recruit from.
Mm-hmm. So if we were wanting,
sorry about that.
Oh, no worries. So I think my understanding of the question is if we wanted to find a blue collar worker, such as a drywall installation worker, how would we do that? If I'm understanding that correctly?
Yes, they just submitted another question that said, so how would that work? So you're on the right track.
Yeah. So this could be done a number of ways depending on your timeline and budget. So we could find a trade convention and send interceptors to that trade convention and look for companies that specialize in drywall. We could also offer a networking gig. The drywall installators themselves may not be the gig workers, but there are chances that someone within the community maybe just recently had drywall installed in their home. So they would have these drywall installators within their network, and they could go and refer the people, their own contacts and people that they know. Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. Would you say that the focus is primarily on qual?
So, no, this is versatile to both the qualitative and quantitative methodologies.
Okay, wonderful. Thanks for clarifying that. It
Yeah.
seems like those are all the questions that we have for today. Thanks to our attendees for tuning in for this session. We've got a few minutes before the next one will kick off, so make sure you grab some water and take a stretch, and we'll see you over in the next one. But Desiree, huge thank you for joining us today. If you have any more questions or want to get in touch with their team, make sure that you reach out.
Thank you, Bridget, and thank you for attending, everyone.